Hi guys, it's Anya, otherwise known as Pink Sweets here on YouTube, and this is Sophie. You can follow me on Instagram at Pink Sweets with a 1 instead of an I. Today I am doing a Mother's Day tutorial inspired by both my mom and my mother-in-law. My mom has a very simple makeup style and my mother-in-law is full glam, so I'm doing a convertible makeup look, which convertible is a term that my husband suggested. And it means that I'm going to convert my mom's makeup look, which is more of a daytime look, to my mother-in-law's style, which is more full glam. But I wanted to bring Sophie in because I don't have any human babies yet, but I do have 3 wonderful puppies, so I'm a dog mom, and I just wanted her to come on here and say hi because she's such joy in my life to have. And I just thought I would have her on camera for a few seconds. So say hi, Sophie. All right, so I want to say that I'm dedicating this video to my mom and my mother-in-law. They're both very influential to me and they mean a lot to me. I am so lucky to have such a wonderful relationship with my mom. She's my best friend. And I'm also so lucky to have a wonderful relationship with my mother-in-law because a lot of people don't. So I'm very thankful for both of them and I can't wait to celebrate with them tomorrow. And also this video is dedicated to all of you moms out there because being a mom is one of the hardest jobs but the most rewarding jobs on earth. And you guys should all be proud, and happy Mother's Day to all of you too. So without rambling any further, let's get started. So for this look, I wanted to use one palette that I could do both looks with. And I will say I'm going to add a little bit more than maybe what my mom would, just because I know that a lot of times she doesn't even wear foundation, but I am going to wear foundation. So yeah, but I'm going to use the Juvia's Place Deuce palette, which is beautiful. I love the artwork. And on the inside are these shades right here. So you can do a very, very simple neutral look. You can do something with pops of color, or you could do something, you know, smokier or neutral. So I really like this palette. It's very versatile, and that's the palette I'm going to use today. So I've already primed my eyelids with my MAC paint stick in white, which I forgot to mention in my last video, I believe it was. And then I've already put my moisturizer on my face, which as always is the Glam Glow Illuminator. I use the shade Pearl Glow, but I also own Nude Glow, and I really don't notice that big of a difference between the two. So next I'm going to put on some face primer, which I'm going to use my Milk Blur Stick. And I'm also going to use this Dior Forever this Dior Forever and Everwear base tint, which is like, it has SPF 20 in it, and it's a primer, but it has a little bit of it's almost like a color correcting tint. It just kind of evens out your skin tone. So I'm going to do that first. And it does come out a little bit of like almost, it's not quite white, but it's not quite skin tone either, but it's more of like a pinky. Of course, now I have dog hair on my face. You know, it has a little bit of a tint to it. And you guys know I like to put on my primer first so it has as much time to sit on my skin as possible before going in with my foundation, because that will ensure that my foundation is the least cakey. If you put it on right before you put on foundation and then you go in right with your foundation over top of it, it is going to, because you're putting liquid on top of liquid and then powder, and then it's just going to add an extra layer of cake that you don't want. So, and I've already done my eyebrows, which today I used the Marc Jacobs Fine Wine pencil and a brush to kind of feather it out. So I'm trying to get better at my brows. Let's see. So I'm going to put on some tape on my actual tape dispenser. And let me know down in the comments below who your mother figure is and what you guys are going to do to celebrate if you can, or if you are without your mom or your mother figure this year. Let me know things that you guys had as a tradition, and yeah, just share anything you want down with me in the comments. So I'm going to go into this palette like I said, the Deuce palette. And the first shade for my mom's look that I'm going to go into is this light pink right here. My mom does like using, she really likes using cream eyeshadows. I like using cream eyeshadows as bases, but not as eyeshadows just themselves, because I feel like they crease easily throughout the day, and I like using them as a base to make a color pop, but I don't like it just personally as just a plain eyeshadow. And because I'm converting the look, I decided to just go ahead and use powders in the shades that my mom would wear. So this is a very light shimmery pink. I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it in the crease. Let me make sure, speaking of crease, let me make sure that this hasn't creased while I was blabbing on. So I'm just gonna put that in the crease and on the brow bone because it's very light and shimmery and pretty. I really love this palette. It's a good palette to pair with other palettes as well, because it does have so many neutral shades. So I'm gonna just pop that kind of all over. And also my mom used to use powder shadows, and when she did, she liked to use like this baby pink shimmery and almost like a little bit bronzy trio from CoverGirl. I think they still sell it. And my mom's makeup look, I'm telling you guys, is going to be really simple. So, like really simple. Okay. And then I'm going to go into this Tarteist Contour palette. And this is what it looks like on the inside. It has highlighter shades. It has a highlighter itself. It has two bronzers. And it has a blush, like a very neutral blush. So I'm going to take that blush and I'm going to go in with the MAC 234, which is, it is a crease brush, but it's more like a paddle, like it's a flat pinched paddle brush. So I'm going to go into that blush and I'm going to mix, it's like a muted plum, and I'm going to mix it with this coral shade in here, this coral peachy shade. And I'm just going to take that and I'm just going to put it all over the lid and kind of buff it into the crease as well. I definitely did not get my love of makeup from my own mom. So that is what our lids look like. As you can see, you can barely see. It is very, very neutral. And then my mom did enjoy putting some type of shimmer on the lid as well. So I'm going to take the Stila Magnificent Metal Glitter and Glow that they actually sent to me in Kitten Karma. This is a mini version of it. And I'm just going to put that on the lid. This is probably more glittery than what my mom would have worn or would wear. But now she doesn't put any glitter whatsoever, or sparkle or shimmer, but it just adds the nicest neutrally bit of shimmer to the lid. My mother-in-law does a lot of different shades. Like she'll do purples, she'll do navy blue, she'll do browns, she'll do black. My mother-in-law looks like she's about, I don't know, 45. She's very, very young looking. And she loves to dress up and do makeup. Oh, I didn't put on my blur stick, did I? I'll just go ahead and do that really quick. I love how this has like a very light citrus oily smell. It just smells very natural. So this is where my mom would probably stop. Then put on a little bit of mascara. She wouldn't even put on any liner. And she would put on foundation, maybe like she usually uses the CoverGirl and Olay tinted moisturizer, I think, as her foundation. So if you are like my mom, this is where you would stop. If you are like my mother-in-law, let's continue. So next I'm going to go into this rusty brick brownie shade. It's very pretty. I like it a lot. And what brush do I want to use for that? I think I'll go back into this Morphe M504, which is a very large blending brush. I'm just going to put that on the tip of the brush. You might hear my dogs playing in the background. And I'm just going to add that to the outer V and up to the line where that glitter stops. And I could definitely see her as well wearing a shimmery shade like that on the lid occasionally. Sometimes she keeps her eyeshadow looks completely matte though. I'm just building that up. It's kind of almost like a rosy brown. I have seen her wear this shade before for sure. Now, in terms of clothing and jewelry, my mom always dresses up. She always looks nice. She always looks cute. Her hair is always styled. But in terms of makeup, it's just never been her thing. I think she might be more into it if my dad was more into it, but my dad has never liked makeup. So I think that she refrains from wearing makeup. Sometimes because of that, but also just because she just has never been huge into it. My mother-in-law always is dressed to the nines. She's beautiful. She always has beautiful clothes, beautiful jewelry, just like my mom. And they both are not originally from America. My mom is from Germany and my mother-in-law is Korean. And I think in those countries, from what I know from my family living there and everything, in Germany and my husband's family living in Korea, I know that in other countries a lot of times, you know, in Germany, for instance, my family in Germany, they never just leave the house wearing whatever. Like here, you'll see people go to the grocery store or Walmart. I do it myself in sweatpants and a t-shirt. You would not see that where my mom's family is from in Germany. They always get dressed up, even just to go to the grocery store. So I remember going to visit my aunts and uncles, and I was going to go, I think I was like 14. I was going to go to the grocery store with my aunt, and she's like, "You're not going to wear that, are you?" I was like, "I guess not." So I think that's part of where they get the background of always dressing up and trying to look their best. So I'm going to go ahead and go into this dark brown shade here. And I've always kind of adopted that. I mean, I will go to the store wearing whatever I want, but I do enjoy, no matter where I go, I do enjoy doing my makeup first, wearing cute clothes. I think a lot of that also stems for me from being that I was a dental hygienist and I always wore scrubs, 5 days a week. And when I was not working, I always wanted to dress up and look nice. So sometimes I'd have people be like, "Oh, are you going to a party?" And I'd be like, "Nope." I'm just not at work right now. So I'm just smoking out the outer V with that beautiful chocolatey brown shade. And again, this isn't exactly what I would see them wearing, but it is inspired heavily by them, so. So that is what we have right now. I'm going to add a little bit more to this eye. Okay, yep, like that. All right, so now we can take off the tape. We're done with the upper lid area. And now we're going to clean off any fallout. Okay. I would say out of all the eyeshadow palettes I own, or brands that I own, I should say, Juvia's Place eyeshadows have the least amount of fallout. And for as pigmented as they are, that's amazing. Okay, now we're going to use a foundation. I don't know if I've used this on my channel before. I think I might have mixed it in once with another foundation, but I'm going to use the Lancome Regenerate Lift Makeup. It also has SPF 20 in it, and it is very much more of like a skincare type of foundation. My mother-in-law loves Lancome. We always go to Macy's when they're having like the free gift and pick out, you know, a lipstick or replace our skincare or our foundation or whatever, and go ahead and get the free gift. Getting a little bit more, which I think is always fun. I love that certain brands like that have the free gift option. They give you the cute makeup bag, and I love it. Oh, and for reference, I am in the shade, wow, what shade am I? Porcelain 20. I think I could go a shade lighter, but I love this foundation. This foundation is actually the only foundation in my life that I've gone through more than once. I think I'm on my third bottle, I want to say, which is unheard of for how many foundations I own. But I love this foundation. I like mixing it in with other foundations, like my Fenty one. Oh, my baby hairs, you guys, but they are growing out. I like mixing it in with other foundations, and I like wearing it by itself. It has a beautiful finish. It's not matte, it's not dewy, it's right in the middle. It's like a satin finish, and it just looks amazing. It has a huge shade range, and like I said, it is incorporated with skincare, so it has a lot of good properties. It used to be the only one that I wore, and when I wore it all the time, I did notice like firming, lifting. I don't have that issue yet, but I think it's always good to start, even when you're young. It's good to start with your skincare. That is something my mother-in-law has definitely taught me, is to make sure that you take care of your skin at an early age, so that when you get older, you don't have to fix the issues that you created when you were younger. So, oh, I still have a dog hair on my face. Let me see if I can get it. I think I did. Okay, so we're going to use the Hoola contour stick. Not because either one of them does a whole lot of contouring, but because both of them are skinny, and I'm not, and they have very defined cheekbones. So that is why we're going to do that. Now my mom would not, I'm just going to take the excess and put it on my forehead. My mom would never set her foundation with powder. So in terms of face, this is where you would stop with my mom. Actually, you'd put on a little bit of blush and then stop. In terms of my mother-in-law, She doesn't overly powder, but she does use a little bit of setting powder. And not like loose setting powder, but like a face setting powder. I think she uses the Lancome setting powder. I don't. Woo, I almost knocked over the camera. Okay. But I am going to use some concealer, which I know my mother-in-law uses. My mother, I never call her my mother. My mom does not. I'm just using the Urban Decay Naked Skin, the pink one that I've told you guys I can use as a concealer because my skin is like fresh driven snow. I think the angle is still, there we go, much better. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, let me know what you guys are doing down below for Mother's Day. Or, like I said, if you're missing your mother figure this year, I am very sorry. I can't even imagine not having my mom in my life. But if you would like, if you feel comfortable, share a memory of you and your mom down below and let me know something that you guys used to do, whether it was for Mother's Day or just a tradition that you had. This is the Maybelline Better Skin Superstay powder. I love this as a pressed powder. I want to know more about you guys, so always feel free to comment down below and let me know something either personal, something makeup related, either way, anything you want to share. Or if you don't want to share, don't share. But I do like to learn about you guys. Taking that unicorn brush, and I'm just stippling the powder on a little bit on the perimeters of my face. Okay. Then we're going to go into that Tarte palette again, and I'm going to use this. This is generally used, this brush, the M438, is usually used as like a setting under the eyes powder. So I'm going to take a little bit of those two lighter powders and brighten up my under eye a little bit. A little bit on the sides of my nose, forehead, my chin. Just take the extra. And then I am going to go into a mixture of the two contour shades, and I'm going to use the same brush to just put where I had that cream contour. Just a little bit. Just a little on my nose. You guys know I don't contour my nose all that much. I have a little button nose. I think it would go away if I contoured it too much. I'm just going to use this fluffy unicorn brush to do my 5 head. And to blend out that line, it's a little harsh. Okay, in business. Now I'm going to reach around and grab my blush brush, which is the Morphe M530, and I'm just going to use that same blush that's in, actually no, I lied. I'm going to use the Coral Peachy shade that we had put on our eyes from the Juvia's Place palette, this one right here. You can also use their eyeshadows as blush. Oh, that's such a stunning color for blush. I love it. Now, neither one of the moms wear highlighter, I can guarantee you that, but we're gonna use it because that way it'll tie myself and my style in with my mom and my mother-in-law. So we're gonna use, what should we use? I think we're gonna use my favorite, which is the Anastasia Aurora Glow Kit. Looks like this. Inside looks like this. I know a lot of people like the Moonchild Glow Kit, and I do too, but this one is definitely my favorite out of all the glow kits that are out. First, we're gonna spray our face, which is another, I think, trend that our moms probably missed out on. Alright, so I'm going to go into Eclipse and Luna, which are the first two shades here. Eclipse, Luna. I sprayed a bit much. Okay. I'm just going to put that on the cheekbones. I'm just going to do a little today. Not as much as I normally do. I'm using that unicorn fan brush that I recently discovered that I have. Okay. I'm going to go into the lower lash line, and I'm going to use the Morphe, nope, I'm going to use doesn't have the brand, but it just says crease brush on it. So it's like this. It's like a little domed crease brush. And I'm going to go back into the palette, and I'm going to use that rosy brown, rusty shade we used. I'm just going to pop that on the lower lash line. That's something that I do. My mom and my mother-in-law would usually just use eyeliner. Which I'm also going to use. Okay. I'm not going to do too much on the lower lash line. And then we're going to go back into our or not back into our, we're going to use another Lancome product, which is the, you guys have seen me use this before, the Le Crayon. This is in the shade Noir, which is the black one, which both my mom and my mother-in-law use black eyeliner only, pretty much. Okay. And then we're going to go in with mascara. I'm going to use the Maybelline mascara because growing up my mom always used Maybelline, the classic pink and green mascara. My mother-in-law uses the Lancome Defensals. I think those are two classic mascaras out there. But I only have the Maybelline Total Temptation mascara, so that's the one I'm going to use. And no liquid lipstick today, because neither one of the moms that I'm talking about today had liquid lipstick when I was growing up. A little bit on the lower lash line. I do like this mascara in terms of drugstore mascara. If I could no longer get my Too Faced mascara, I would probably switch to this one. If I was switching to a drugstore one, I guess. Okay, now for lips. We are going to go into, let me get the foundation off of my lips first. Now, my mom would just wear usually like a pink tone. I'll show you, maybe. Oh, actually, let's see. Did I? Okay, let me go grab my makeup brush. I'll be back. And just like that, I'm back. You guys didn't even have to wait. Okay, so my mom would use just a pink, let's see, very neutral lipstick. Maybe like the Viva Glam 5. Just a very, very neutral. I'm trying to find one. Or something with a little bit more of like a rosy tone. So if this is a little, yeah, no, that's pretty much. So if you were going to be like my mom, you could pair it with this lip color. This is actually a unique lip color called Loaded. I got from a friend of mine. And then, if you're my mother-in-law, she does the whole shebang. So she uses lip liner, lipstick, lip gloss over top of everything else. So we're going to use MAC Strip Down, which is like a nude. We're going to put that on. I swear, I think they changed the formula on this. Let me know down below if you know if they did. Because I feel like it's more orangey. And I also feel like it's not as smooth as some of the MAC lip liners that I've used. And this is a new one. So tried to use this yesterday too and I gave up, and I think I'm giving up again today. I think we're actually going to go instead in with Plum from MAC, which is one of my favorite shades by them. I'll just put it right over top. Okay. And then, use that gloss, or that gloss. Yes. My mother-in-law likes a lot of the Estee Lauder lipsticks. This is Tiger's Eye, I believe. Yes, Tiger's Eye. It's a very pretty, like champagne, goldy, I don't know, bronzy shade. It's very pretty. And she would put it in the middle and only slightly blend it so that you can still see the lip liner. And I'm going to take one of these glosses from MAC. This is from the Mariah Carey collection. This is Butterfly Bling. She would probably be using all Lancome, but I don't have a lot of Lancome lip products. Love the way MAC lip products smell, or all MAC products actually. Alright, lips are on. Only thing left to do is to use some setting spray. We're going to use the Milani Make It Last. I really need to get more of this. Almost completely out. And again, this is not something that they would do. This is my little added touch. And I'm going to take a beauty blender and just kind of tap in all the work that I just did, which is a trick that will really help make it last. Okay, and that is the final makeup look. So that is how you go from mom 1 to mom 2, from day to night. I hope you guys enjoyed. And again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there that are celebrating. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys soon. Don't forget to subscribe.